Welcome! In this video I'm going to be taking a look at this Wurkkos TD07 Everyday Carry Tactical Flashlight. So this is provided to me by the distributor, but they're not compensating me for this video and they're not reviewing it before I post it. If you find this video helpful and you want to purchase one of these, I'll put a link to it in the description, and if you use that link it helps me out a little bit and doesn't cost anything extra. So the modes are listed on the back here. We have Moonlight, Low, Medium, High, and Turbo. Moonlight is 2 lumens, Turbo is 1300 lumens, and I'm guessing that will go for a certain amount of time, then it will drop down to 700 lumens, which is the same as high. We have some other specs listed here. It's IP68 waterproof rated. So let's get this open. So there's an isolator disc in here we'll have to remove. So there's a notice there. Here we have the manual. Let's take a quick look at it. Now I may not cover everything in here. You'll want to read through it on your own. So it's kind of a map style. And it looks like these 4 panes are English and these are other languages. So here we have the different modes. So on the moon mode, which is 2 lumens, runtime is 75 hours. So that's about 3 days. On the turbo mode, it runs at 1300 lumens for 2 minutes and then drops to 700 lumens for 45 minutes. So even on low mode, you get 22 hours runtime. Medium, you get 3 hours. High, you get 50 minutes. Then it shows the different distances there. So this has an IP68 waterproof rating. And here we have some other specs. You can pause and read through those. This talks about how to use it. So there's a rotary selector on here, and it has 3 modes. It has tactical, lock, or outdoor. So on tactical, when you half click it, you get turbo momentary. Full click it, you get strobe momentary. Now on the rotary lock, it's off, but if you click it, you get the moon momentary. So even if it's locked, you can press the button and turn it on, but this is actually momentary, so you'd actually have to hold it down. So then we have the regular mode, so it's rotary outdoor. So default is off, so it says half click. You press it for moon, then click it for low, medium, high, click it twice for turbo, and half click will go between the different modes. So we will actually take a look at that, and then full click is off. So let's pull this out. Looks like we have some extra O-rings for sealing. And here's the light, and it comes with a USB-C to USB-C cable for charging it. So the isolator is going to be somewhere. It looks like it's in the back here. Pull that out. And here's the battery. So this is an 18350. And there's no isolator in there, so there's just one. And this is a 1100 milliamp hour battery. So I'll screw this on. When you screw this on, there's a spring in here, so you want to make sure you're pressing it. And this will actually rotate, so I need to actually touch the knurling here to make sure I get that tight. So this is made of aluminum. Here you can see the LED in the lens. Has a nice feel to it. And here we have this loop. So this is a clip. So we can pull up on this and clip it to something that kind of slides around. But you can also put it on your hand like this to give you a little bit better grip. So you can hold it like that. You could even hold it like this. So you might be holding a trekking pole or something like this, and you could have this hanging out on the outside of your hand. So that's nice. So this button has 2 levels. I'll press it a little bit and it's a half click, and I'll press it all the way and it's full click. And then this rotates. So this mode here is the turbo and strobe mode, and this is the regular mode, and that's locked. So on this, I'll press it in a little bit, and we're on turbo mode. So I can feel the heat on my hand. That's very bright. And if I press it in all the way, we're going to have that strobe mode. But now that's momentary, so when I let off, that's going to stop. So you can see like that. You could signal with that. If I hold it down, it's going to turn on. So let's go to lock mode. Now if I hold in here, you have the moon mode. So it's a very dim light. So if you're camping, it's pitch black out and you need a little light, you can have that on the lock mode and use that moon mode, and you can see a lot with that little bit of light if your eyes are adjusted to it. So then let's go to the regular mode. Now I'll press in a little bit. It's going to turn on the moon mode. Now unlike the other mode, if I let off, that's going to stay on. Now if I do another little half click, it's going to go to the low, then another half click medium, half click high. So in the regular mode, the half clicks are going to switch between the modes. Now I can click it all the way and it will turn it off. So I'm going to show this in the dark and I'll demonstrate it, but I just wanted to go over the function of it. So let's go ahead and try charging this. It has this USB-C to USB-C cable, so you can use a USB-C phone charger or a power bank. I'll plug in there, and I'll plug in here. And this is glowing red. It's kind of hard to see in my bright lights, but it's charging at, looks like 0.58 amps. That's a pretty decent rate. So that rate can vary depending on the state of charge of the light. So there's probably enough light in here to do further demonstration, so I'm going to do a short throw test. And then when it gets dark, I'll go outside and we'll do the long throw test. Okay, so I'm currently around 4 foot from the wall, and my camera's around 4 foot from the wall, and I have it on the strobe turbo mode. So I'll hold it down part way. So now we're on turbo. So we see that real bright spot in the middle, and then we have kind of the halo on the outside. So this middle part is going to throw a long distance, and the other part is going to be a more even light up close. So that will kind of light up the periphery. Now if I hold it down all the way, we're going to have that strobe mode. I'm not going to do that very long, but let's rotate the bottom to the lock. Now if I hold it down here, we're getting the moon mode. And that did not look like a lot when I had it on my hand in the bright studio lights. But against the wall, you can see that's a decent amount of light. You can see quite a bit with that if you're adjusted to night vision. Even if you weren't, that's pretty bright. So now I'll turn it on the regular light mode, and I'll hold down, and here we have that moon mode again. I did a half click, and I'm not holding down on it, and I'll do another half click, and then we have low, medium, and high. So this has very nice even light. It's pretty distinct between the light and the dark areas, and there's not a lot of ringing. There's a little bit in the middle, but we're up pretty close. So let's head outside and take a look at this at distance. Okay, so I'm outside on my driveway. The garage doors in front of me are about 50 foot away. So I'm on the turbo strobe mode, so I'll do the turbo. So this is very bright at 50 foot. So it's lighting up the whole door with the spotlight, and then you have the other light is lighting up the whole driveway. So I'm going to do this real short, but here's the strobe. Next I'll turn it to lock mode. Hold it down. So even on the lock mode, I'm seeing the light at 50 foot away. There's a street light nearby. If I was in the middle of the woods, this would actually be very bright. Then I'll turn it to the regular mode. So if I hold it down, I'm going to get the moon mode. And then if I tap it, it'll go low, medium, high. And then if I double half tap it, I'm going to have turbo. Let's turn this on low. So let's turn it on medium. Now if I press it in all the way, it'll turn off. And if I half tap it, it will go back to medium. So it has the memory. Again, if I hold it down, we're going to moon mode. And if I tap it, it's going to go to the last mode it was on. So this is on low, and there's a good amount of light there on medium. I'd say I'd probably use this on medium quite a bit. So I probably don't need it on high and turbo unless I really need a lot of light for something. Now I have the camera pointed at my car tire as if I had a flat tire. So I'll turn this on. Here it is on low, so that's plenty of light to change the spare tire. There's medium, high, and turbo. Turbo's super bright. So if you lost a lug nut and you really want a lot of light, turbo's the way to go. So you can see you do have that spotlight, but this also has the ring around it that's sort of a floodlight to give you a nice broad cast of light. So that's the Wurkkos TD07 Everyday Carry Tactical Flashlight. I really like the form factor of this flashlight. This has this unique clip here that makes it really easy to hold on to. Now when I did the outside segment, it's just below freezing, so I had some gloves on. They were thin gloves, but I was easily able to run this with the gloves. No problem. I had all the tactical response and everything. I really like the different modes on here. The strobe mode's on its own setting, so if you're on the regular mode, you're not accidentally going to set that off. But it's nice when it's locked, you can still use the moon mode. So a flashlight like this would be great for repair work, hiking, camping, everyday carry, power outages. And as I film this, the holidays are coming up. I think a flashlight like this would make a great gift. So that's all I'm going to cover in this video. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. If you like this video, please click like. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd appreciate if you could do that. And thanks for watching. Until next time, goodbye.